Okay. Honestly, I'm super excited. You know me, Chris. I got a lot of energy. But I have with me the man, the myth, the boss. Boom. Chris Deitz.
What's happening? What's happening?
Chris, I got to pick your brain, buddy. You're this East Coast, come to the West Coast kind of character. You think you can take over our market? Let's talk about that, buddy. I mean, what gives you? You've got this chutzpah, you've got this kind of backbone that's just relentless. Where did that come from, Chris?
I guess it's just who I am. I guess really, the one thing that I learned real quickly in our industry is, we're constantly being told, maybe not so much anymore, but back when I first got started, you got to wear the suit and tie, you got to get all prim, you have to be this certain image. And, that just didn't work for me. I have a different image. I have a different personality. That didn't mean I wasn't able to adapt to certain situations, or we teach people to adapt to certain people, personalities and situations. But if you can't be you, what's the purpose? What are you doing?
Yeah, you're very interdependent. And this is what leads us to the next question is, your dad came from a law enforcement background. You went into law enforcement. Now you're in real estate. Now you're opening up your own office, your own branch. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that past to the present.
Sure.
And then my third question is going to big block.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, I did the whole college thing and graduated and immediately just fell that to the wayside and got into law enforcement myself, following my dad's footsteps. I got into working for the CDC here in California, and I had a great run. It was awesome. I met some great people. I had a lot of brothers and sisters on the line. But I'll tell you what, not coming from a place where law enforcement, my dad was law enforcement, but, I didn't have it bad growing up. So going into an area where you're around violence all the time, you're around just negativity all the time. I worked in the prison system, and so you don't get to see a lot of positivity. Everybody's, down and out, and it's violent, and it's, it can be depressing at times. But I'll tell you what, that run in law enforcement probably was the best thing that ever happened to me for the run I've had in real estate and other areas, even before I got into real estate, simply because my ability to be able to talk to people in different levels and for me to adapt to their situation, kind of, we just talked about that, as far as, who we are as being comfortable with who you are, being able to relate to somebody, to gain that trust and respect it's incredible. And I think the toughest situation is people who already look at you, almost demonized just because of, you're wearing a uniform. Right?
Nobody likes authority, Chris. Well, at least I don't.
No, I get it. I get it. Being on the other side of that, I can't imagine, and I don't want to imagine. But at the same time, we had a job to do, and we did it. And being able to communicate at a highest level and making it out of there every day, that's quite an accomplishment. So, shout out to all my brothers and sisters still working on the other side of the wall. But at the same time, man, communication was amazing and incredible. But I learned a lot.
Well, let's talk about that, Chris. So you're in almost like life or death situation, because every day you're in this environment where there's a threat base. How did you become fluid to kind of roll with that? And then let's go into my question with, you left that behind, you went into real estate. I mean, that's a hardcore background into a business background. I mean, what's going on there, Chris, in that shift?
How did I make it through? I think it was just having great partners, and it's kind of like real estate, to be honest with you. How do we make it in real estate? We surround ourselves by people that are trying to go in the same direction, right? And so the same thing in law enforcement. Listen, it's not a secret. There's a lot of bad eggs, that have a badge on. But when you're surrounding yourself by really good people that that want to enforce policy but don't want to, you know, carry a gun and a badge and say, look at me, I'm the, you know, I'm the big bad boss. um you get things done because you gain the respect of the people that you need to gain respect of. And when they respect you, it becomes almost easy. You never let your guard down because at the end of the day, it's a different
Right.
environment. You know, it is a little bit nerve-wracking, let's be honest. But if you're surrounded by some great people and they're doing the right thing and they have the right direction, and it allows you to kind of lift yourself up and explore different opportunities within. I left law enforcement out of, you know, just basic injury. And so when I got
Okay.
out of law enforcement, I said to myself, okay, well, what do I do now, right? And I jumped into a career path that I knew nothing about, absolutely zero about, and it was in the building, the exterior building supply.
Well, but
And
that's still kind of real estate, though. That's still kind of, you know, roofs.
in a way, yeah,
Yeah.
in a way, I was, you know, it was in Las Vegas at this point, kind of fast forwarding through, you know, different timelines. But yeah, I was in Las Vegas, and I walked in to one of our national accounts, and he exposed me to all these communities that were being green lighted in Las Vegas. And I went, holy crap. I don't know why, but the first thing that came to my head was, man, all these houses need to get sold. And I had a very good friend, I'm going to shout him out, Mark Hillers, out of Las Vegas, substantial real estate agent out there. This guy's amazing. Him and a good friend of Brandon DeVere as well. These two guys had such a stranglehold on real estate out there. They still do. And I remember calling him and saying, hey, man, there's so many things happening in Las Vegas. And he says, yeah, I know. And I went, oh, okay. I must be behind the eight ball, right? I'm the one. I'm the one that's seen all the plan, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So he just said, hey, you know, why don't you get your license? And I said to myself, well, I don't know. Is it hard? And he goes,
Because we do think it's rocket science, right? When you think of a professional
right?
license.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I asked him, so how do I get my license? He goes, oh, you just got to go to pre-license school, dude. You're going to love it. You do amazing. You'd kill it, he said.
Chris, not the networker like you, buddy. You freaking ran the show, bud.
So, you know, I said that the key question, right? Well, is it hard? No, real estate's easy. I said, oh, okay, perfect. So once I started doing a little bit of research, and for me, I'm a driver at heart, man. It's like, if it makes money and it makes sense, then I'm all about it. I want to go 100 miles an hour. And so that's exactly what I did. I enrolled. 18 days later, I was licensed, and the journey started.
Beautiful. So Chris, let's kind of go on a roadmap here, because clearly you scream Vegas, buddy. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You have that about you, and that's one thing that I liked about you, is you had this glamour edge about you. You know what I mean? Which is interesting, because I come from the luxury arena, you come from the Vegas arena, and Vegas is a very colorful, very vibrant, very in your face. I mean, it is. I mean, that's why I love Vegas. We go there a couple of times a year, and you've been in coaching. You've been in training, you've been in leadership, you've been CEO, you've been team leader, you've mentored dozens and dozens and hundreds maybe of agents. Now you're kind of evolved, and now you've gone to the next level, which is good, because you know it's evolution. It's evolution. And I want to know about that, because I'm always looking at business models and I'm analyzing them and studying them. Let's talk about Big Block. I mean, honestly, it's going to be a new vision for Southern California, because I know you're in San Diego, but now you're coming into Orange County and Inland Empire, which, listen, buddy, Inland Empire is huge. We all know amazing. That. That's amazing. Yeah. It's called the Inland Empire for a reason, right, Chris? Yep. Let's talk about that. If you can give us a little bit of a history about that, and go into bed.
Here's the thing, you know, when I was working for my other company here in San Diego, I hate to admit this, because I'm a competitor at heart and I like to win, as I'm sure a lot of us like to win, but I was putting up some pretty incredible numbers, especially for the place that I was working at. And it wasn't just me, by the way. I had a great team behind me. But there was a team, or a company here in San Diego, that would crush, I mean, just absolutely crush anything that I was doing, or even our company as a whole in San Diego County. And I even called our mutual friend Tony and said, dude, I don't know what the hell I have to do here. I said, I'm losing to this one specific company, and I don't even know what the hell they offer.
Because they'd walk out of your office and walk across the
road. Go across the street.
And go in there.
I would watch an agent say, hey, I'm so sorry. I mean, they were very genuine. They were nice to me and everything. And they said, it's not personal. It's not business. It's just, I can't turn down the opportunity. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, what else could you possibly want? In my head, right? In my head. And
so I've got an empire behind me. We're global. We're the biggest. We're the best. And then yes, these guys go, but hold on, that doesn't matter anymore, Chris. That doesn't matter anymore. Let's face the facts. People don't care anymore how big and grand. They don't care anymore. They care about what are you doing for them. What's the value and the massive opportunity for them? Otherwise, don't waste my time. This isn't 1997 anymore. This is the 21st century. Let's go into big block, buddy. Let's talk about that.
I got to tell you, real estate is such a unique journey for everybody, right? There's no one way to win in real estate. There's commonalities, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing now. And I've seen, other companies explode because now there's focus on individuality. And the one word that drives me up the wall is being, these companies were agent-centric. No, you're not. You're not agent-centric. You say you're agent-centric, but what does that even mean? Because you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that. And then the topics are so general and vague. How is that specific? How is that agent-centric? Just sharing a few laughs and having a coffee machine,
right?
That does not make you agent-centric, my friend. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so I want to be agent-centric, but I think the word has been so misused and misinterpreted. And so that's my focus. It could be any name up here. The focus for me personally in the brokerage and the franchise that we're delivering is we're going to bring that uniqueness back to the agent themselves. We're going to get them to win in the fashion that allows them the best opportunity to win.
I love that. I love that word uniqueness, because Chris, this is something that I think corporations miss. They keep speaking culture. I get it. But Chris, let's be very honest right now. There's a divine line between me and you. My culture is different to your culture.
Sure.
What I eat, my taste buds, my mindset, and same with you. Now that doesn't mean we can't merge together, right? And be prolific partners in business. But to me, it's more family. My wife's American, my kid's American, that's family. So I see more of a family environment than a culture, because culture to me, it's a misused word.
Right.
There's so many, and I come from South Africa. In South Africa alone, we have 11 different African languages, Chris, and 2 languages for the Afrikaans and English. So they have at least 13 different languages, Chris, and their cultures are very different.
Right.
And their tribes are very different, but yet we can come together as a family, right? And be we can commingle that way. But absolutely. My culture, my wife, even to this day, has a hard time with the foods that I eat or the jokes that I share, because to her they're crude, to me they're hilarious. I can't repeat them because I'll probably get banned.
Yeah.
But, I have a different perspective in life. Let's talk about big block, only because first of all, I'm going to speak on Chris's behalf. Beware. I know Chris Deitz very well. Don't mistake his kindness as a weakness.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean, Chris? And I've been very sincere. Chris is a pretty badass big guy. At the same time, I've worked with him, so I know how he is. He's a nice guy, but people seem to sometimes misrepresent that. And they're going to lose, Chris, by the way. They're going to lose. Talk to me about the model of big block, because it's, you're now leaving the giants' shadows, and you're kind of almost in a sense creating your own, because you are a giant. Let's talk about that model, because I'm curious about that.
Well, the model's simple, and that's what I think I like about it the most is the fact that it's very black and white. There's really no gray area. There's nothing hidden. There's nothing that's a surprise. There's no, oh, thanks for partnering with us, and by the way, there's this. That stuff doesn't exist. It's very straightforward, and I think that's the honesty that I've been looking for to represent.
Tell me
I've been
about it.
in,
What does that financial model look like, Chris?
it's 100% commission. So
Okay.
we all know it's no secret. 100% commission still has a little asterisk next to it. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest.
No hidden cost, Chris. No,
Yeah.
oh, you tag me for this, you tag me for that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
then
you got
everything's
paid,
off
you're
the
going,
cart, you
damn.
got fees, yeah. So hey, I thought it was only $400 a transaction, and then all of a sudden you've got, you know, $2,000 worth of stuff off your check for every check. It just doesn't make sense. So the reason why I chose to specifically back this company is because of that economic model, coupled with the kind of value that they deliver to the agent. Going back to the economic model, you know, it's simple. It's $290 a transaction. That's it.
Chris, how can you beat that, dude? Honestly, how can you beat that?
Well, I guess that's my question to everybody else, right? And I'm not going to sit here and compare models to different companies. That's going to be for the agent to understand. I want them to find the value, but it's $290. That includes your, got to have, but we run it like a Costco, right? So you have a membership fee, and then you can buy whatever the hell you want to buy, and it's at a discounted rate, and you're good, you're golden, the place is packed, and everyone loves it. It's the same thing here. You got to hang your license with us. So there's a membership fee, there's a due, it's yearly.
Right. There is a cost of doing business, Chris. Nothing's free.
Nothing's free. And that cost is $3,600. So $3,600 for your year compared to a $20,000, $25,000, what they call a cap, right? And what I've come to understand in our positions, and you know the same thing, is even after you cap or you become 100%, they celebrate you and you get a little hat that says I'm a capper. You still got to pay a transaction fee.
Hold on. You get a cap. I get a title. They call me.
Yeah, you get
a like every agent. I'm agreed. Okay, well, show me the money, baby.
That's right.
This is business, Chris. This is business. I've got a family of 5 to support. I'm all about the business, bud. I don't need a bloody title and some placards with my name on it. For Pete's bloody sake, man. There's bloody people in this world.
My perspective has switched now, right? Because our economic model makes a ton of sense monetarily. That's all good. That's all good. We've now taken the money issue off of the table. So now agents can be confident knowing that, okay, every commission, every transaction, I'm going to take home the most amount of money possible. Settled. The second part, obviously, value. We want to know what agents want. What are they longing for? What do they need? And so my perspective changed. I don't want agents to join my company, to join the franchise that I've been part of, to join Big Block Realty. I want us to be hireable. And I think that perspective has really lost its way with brokerages across the country. Is they got comfortable. They knew their position that, agents have to have us. But then you and I both know we go through gauntlets of training on how to talk somebody into hanging their license with us. That's crazy.
It is. And we're going to talk about it in another episode that I'm going to be interviewing Chris in. Guys, if you want to reach out to Chris he's leading the way. Chris is his groundbreaking techniques, his mindset stuff, his coaching. He's so at the forefront, and he's an influencer, and he's a disruptor. Chris is a disruptor in many ways. Hey guys, if you want to reach out to Chris, I'm gonna have all of his details in the description box below. Please crush that like button, subscribe to my channel because it helps with analytics. I'm growing, I'm having some great time. Exactly. Thank you. Look at the different videos all over this place. I'll have some spotted for you. Chris Deitz is a good man and he'll treat you well. And he's human, which is just great. And he is leading the way. And he's shaking the pot, buddy. You're making some waves in the ocean. Thank you for your time, Chris. Hey guys, this is Legends Kevin Du Toit. Lead with your heart, make decisions with your mind. Cheers.